Hi, it's nomadicMadman. Today is January 7th of 2024. I started this video a couple of times already, once around Thanksgiving of last year and one right at New Year's. I'm gonna give it one more try. It's not that difficult of a video. Basically, it's just gonna be some photos of Fort Laramie that I took back in 2018. Back in 2018, I was introduced to the Forest Fen treasure hunt. Some of you that follow me know of this treasure hunt. But as I researched it, I was still trying to narrow down the clues. The very first clue, as you know, is where warm waters halt. This took me to Guernsey, Wyoming, which right outside of Guernsey is a place called Warm Springs. And I just wanted to go there to see that. The Sunrise Mine is also near there, which I found to be kind of interesting, although it has a chain link fence around it. You can't go in there, it's private property. But there's a lot of things around there to look at. The Guernsey ruts, where the pioneers on the Oregon Trail crossed and created ruts that are permanent there, as well as they engraved their names into a bluff there that's near there. Anyhow, when I was researching Guernsey, I went out there to look at the site, and since I was in the area, I went to Fort Laramie. So this video is about Fort Laramie, not Guernsey. Since then, I bought a book about Fort Laramie. The years that are interesting are 1834 to 1890, which is only about this much of the book. This book covers all the way to 1977. So as I show the photos, I'm just going to read the introduction and just to fill the dead air. So anyways, it's 2024 now. I don't have a trip planned yet, although anyways, we just got hit with snow last night. So I guess winter's actually here. It's been pretty warm, relatively warm around here lately. But so I hope you enjoy this video. But Happy New Year. Introduction. One of the most memorable shrines in Western America is to be found in eastern Wyoming, at the junction of the Laramie and North Platte rivers. Here preserved as a National Historic Site are the restored remains of Old Fort Laramie, 1834 to 1890. Perhaps no other place equals its star role in the long epic of frontier history. Few others equal it as a vivid reminder of a heroic past. Serving successfully as a log stockade, adobe trading post, and evolving military post, Fort Laramie was a classic setting for the colorful pageant of the West. Explorers, trappers, traders, missionaries, immigrants, freighters, Pony Express riders, stage drivers, cowboys, and homesteaders, as well as soldiers and Indians, all precede Fort Laramie, whether campground, way station, provision point, fortification, or temporary home, as a unique island of civilization in the Big Sky Wilderness, where the Great Plains merge with the Rocky Mountains. The key to Fort Laramie's importance was its strategic location on the Great Central Continental Migration Corridor via the Platte and North Platte Rivers to South Pass. By tradition, this is most commonly known as the Oregon Trail. Okay, I'm going to go forward in the book a little bit. For some years, the government had considered establishing military posts along the Oregon Trail for the protection of the immigrants, and the site at Laramie Fork had been recommended by Lieutenant Fremont. In December of 1845, such action was proposed by President James K. Polk, and in May 1846, Congress approved an act to provide for raising a regiment of mounted riflemen and for establishing military stations on the route to Oregon. On June 22nd, Major Osborne Cross and Private George Gibbs, with a contingent of mounted riflemen en route to take over Fort Hall on the Snake River in present Idaho, paused at Laramie Fork, where they found Company E encamped opposite the adobe fort while Woodbury was scouting the territory. Both thought the situation was forlorn and destitute of interest. However, Sanderson reported that good timber, limestone, hay, dry wood were readily available, and that the Laramie River furnished abundant good water for the command. Okay, moving forward a little bit, here's another take on the fort from an immigrant. Among those immigrants ahead of the mounted riflemen was William Kelly, who was not impressed by the adobe fort. My glowing fancy vanished before the wretched reality, a miserable, cracked, dilapidated enclosure, some of it propped with beams of timber which an enemy had only to kick away, and down would come the whole structure. J.G. Bruff, who was left one of the few immigrant sketches of the fort, owned that it had suffered much from time and neglect. All right, let's see if I can wrap this up. The 49ers were but the first wave of covered wagon immigrants stampeding towards the California mines. The following 5 years, from 1850 to 1854, saw even larger hordes of Argonauts that all but swamped the little army post at Laramie. The biggest waves were in 1850 and 1852, when the migrant population exceeded 50,000 each season. All right, that's all I'm going to read for now. Happy New Year.